Hey, this is Wendy with Loaves and Dishes, and today we are making delicious turkey nuggets. If you've ever had chicken nuggets, these are very similar, but I think better and super affordable. So here's what you do. You take a package of turkey breast tenderloins, and they come packaged usually in a vacuum seal package like this, and sometimes they're marinated. Whether they're marinated or not, either way, you want to dry off those tenderloins. And then if you see some of that skin, like I was just pulling off of there, you want to get that off and cut that off. You'll find that there's often, when you're cutting these up, a tough piece of white string that goes down through the middle, and you'll want to cut that off too. When you run into it, you'll be able to tell when you cut with your knife. So I have sped this up greatly because it was just taking too long, but you want to cut those tenderloins into approximately sugar cube size pieces, a little bit bigger. The marinated breasts are a little bit harder to cut because they're kind of mushy and stringy. So if you have a problem with that, just cut them a little bigger. It's not going to hurt anything. While you're doing this, you want to heat your oil. And you can use vegetable oil, canola oil, peanut oil, any type of oil that tolerates high heat. Go ahead and heat your oil to 350 degrees, and you'll really want to use a thermometer so that you don't overcook your turkey. So get your oil heating over a medium heat, medium high. You're going to have to adjust that when you get ready to start cooking. And then you're going to want to go ahead and mix up your breading as well, because you want to have everything ready to go at the stove so that it goes just kind of like a factory process. Now you can see I'm going to dry these again using that same paper towel. They just need to be very dry or your breading will slip off. So I put a little salt and pepper on mine because this is not a pre-marinated turkey tenderloin that I'm using. So I'm using 3 bowls, but you might have a breading station, and I'll try to remember to put links to a breading station and any specialty products in the comment section below. But I'm going to use 3 or 4 heaping tablespoons of flour. It doesn't even matter if you use all-purpose flour or self-rising flour. Either one's fine for the first section of your breading station. And that's all. You don't need to season this flour. Just a plain flour. And then I made a mistake here. I just put 2 eggs, but you really need 3 if you're doing 2 tenderloins. So 3 eggs, not 2, and beat those up pretty well. And then you're going to make your final breading bowl, and that is going to be a seasoned breading, and you're going to use panko breadcrumbs. I'm using panko, salt and pepper, garlic powder, and Old Bay seasoning, and it takes quite a lot of those to season the panko. So don't be alarmed at how much I'm putting in here. There's panko. I'm going to use like maybe a cup and a half of panko. These are unseasoned, but you could use the seasoned if you wanted to. And you don't have to strictly stick to the seasoning I used. I'm using it because of affordability. Now this is important. That's baking powder. You want to put a couple tablespoons, 1 to 2 tablespoons of baking powder. And this is just a salt pepper mix. About a teaspoon of salt and pepper mix. And about a tablespoon of garlic powder. And several tablespoons, like 3 tablespoons. That's a quarter cup of Old Bay. Because that Old Bay is very flavorful. And then once you have those all in your bowl, you are going to start mixing. And you just want to mix it up really well. There goes the garlic powder. That's a teaspoon to a tablespoon. It's really dependent on your taste. But mix it up well, and just know that you may have to mix some while you're doing your breading, because some of the spices want to settle to the bottom. I find that the Old Bay in particular settles down under that panko. So then you want to move all this to the stove where your oil is heating, and because you want to have it all ready to go. That's an important part of this process. So there's my 3 breadings and my turkey and my hot oil. And we're going to start by putting some of the turkey. We don't want to do too much because we don't want to overcrowd our oil. If you put too much in the oil to begin with, it will cool the oil down, and then it'll just make a mess. It won't brown your turkey like you want it to. So into the plain flour first, and then into the egg wash, and then over into the panko. And then I'm trying hard you can use your fingers. It's easier to use your fingers, but I'm trying not to get that all over my fingers. And then you want to drop it kind of piece by piece into the oil. And you can see that for the size of my oil container here, I didn't put more than 25% with the turkey. Now, while that's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and start the process with my next batch. This is how you keep things moving, because otherwise you're going to be standing at the stove cooking for a long time. So you want to keep things moving, get those ready to go so that when your first batch comes out, you can put your second batch right on into the oil. Now, that's a kitchen spider I'm using, and I'm using a nice heavy cast iron pan, and you can see those are ready when they float and when they are a golden brown color. It doesn't really take that long, maybe a couple minutes, and that's it. You can use a thermometer and check them. They should be at about 150 degrees internally when they're ready. 150 to 165. And then, so now my second batch is cooking, and I'm putting my third batch into the breading. Now see, they just need just a little bit more. For whatever reason, those were taking a little longer. And you can see I had to sample a couple and make sure they tasted okay. They're good. Believe me, they're good. Now, once you have these all cooked, we enjoy these with like coleslaw and french fries, or baked potato and corn on the cob, or greens or green beans, or really just anything you would eat chicken with is the same thing you would eat these turkey nuggets with. The main thing is that you just want them to be completely cooked through. But they do save pretty good, and you can heat them up in the air fryer with a little spritz of vegetable oil, or even heat them up in the microwave. They're pretty good that way. So that's all you really do. You just keep processing them through until they're done, till you've worked through all of them. I hope that answers all your questions, and I hope you enjoy these delicious turkey nuggets. If you are interested in more recipes like this, check us out at loavesandishes.net, or watch all of our other videos on YouTube. Just set us to play and watch them all. Join us on our podcast called Dorks with Sporks. My daughter Sarah, who does a lot of these videos, and I go and carry out from lots of places. See you then.
Hey, this is Wendy. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you'll join Sarah and I on our mother-daughter adventures in takeout. You can find Dorks with Sporks wherever you download podcasts, or at dorkswithsporks.com.